This Sunday. Every Sunday, side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here, relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gasp at mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands for the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
All right. You know, the second part of my surprise isn't working. I had a CD here. You could probably notice the lettering on this. Who wrote this?
Oh my gosh, yes I do.
The CD player wouldn't play it, so we can't slide in through the green light, slamming our brakes and making a mess, but we can still be here to tell you that this is Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only automotive talk show, with your hosts, Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer, kind of kicking it old school like we did last week for Mother's Day. We're doing it again this week.
It was a dynamic show filled with fun and sarcasm.
Dynamic tension. Yes, it was. Absolutely.
In that order.
So,
but yeah, yes, and a warm, wonderful day it is on this springtime in 2026. So a lot of things going on the last 2 weeks. I don't know about you, but I had a personal problem.
Uh-oh.
I did. I had a personal problem. I had a problem with the exhaust system on. It was exhaust and brakes last 2 weeks. But Ray, got to tell you, because my exhaust started to leak, you know what happened?
What happened?
My nuts rusted off.
Oh, I know you've had that problem before with rusty nuts, and that's always an issue.
This time they were gone.
Wow.
I mean, like my nuts turned to dust.
Oh boy. So what does one do when their nuts turns to rust?
No, dust. Literally, there were particles.
It was probably rust first, then
it probably was.
Then turned to dust.
Turned to dust.
So what does one do in a rusty, dusty condition? Because people need to know.
First, you cry a little.
Okay.
Your voice doesn't change, thankfully. But
right.
what I ended up doing was the two pipes come together as they head under the Explorer to the back of it, to the back of the vehicle. And there where I guess you could say the flex pipe joins up with the muffler and the tailpipe, there's a connection there. And the connection is put together with a single, what would you say, a joiner. It was like a flat piece of metal, like a gasket. Yeah, I guess you could. It wasn't flanged. There were flanges at the end, but in between those flanges was this flat piece of metal and two standard gaskets. And I was able to literally pry the whole thing apart without using a wrench. I mean, that's how bad it was. The gaskets had disintegrated. So I purchased new gaskets and I purchased that new flat piece of metal. But now it was just a matter of getting them back together. And what I had to do was, once it was all apart, the studs that were still intact still had remnants of the old nuts in the threads.
Common.
So I had to get almost like use my old tap and die.
Right.
And it was one of those projects that you knew that you really had to take your time with it. Like, I couldn't rush this. Wasn't like I got 40 minutes to an oil change type of. This was one of those Zen moments. I had to get down there and
what to to give you a good comparison, do you know how that's dealt with in a shop?
How? I'm sure they just cut the ends
It's
off.
the exact opposite. It's like, get this thing out. New one. Done. Send it out,
Yeah.
buddy. What's the next one? Exactly opposite. Yeah.
But this job gave me so much heartache because not only were the threads compromised,
Yeah.
but the two flanges that came together
Yeah.
were also compromised. Whereupon, if I put the gaskets and put everything back together again, it was still spitting out the sides of the flanges.
Yeah.
Ray, I never saw this before. The flanges actually bent like this.
No, that's what they do when they rust. I've actually seen that gap filled with like high temp Permatex.
I was almost
Literally.
going to do that. I
It
really
doesn't
was.
last. It won't last.
I was almost going to do it, and I thought to myself, I just do not find it sufficient to rely on some sort of two-stage epoxy. And believe me, I had all this two-stage epoxy stuff purchased and sitting on the shelf, ready to go.
Right.
And I didn't have the heart to use it. It
Not
just
the way
was
to.
not in the cards. So what I ended up doing was, and believe it or not, I know you're going to love this, I used the Dremel.
Okay. All right.
I got on there because you had studs around the flange that was bent. So I had to go around where the stud was with the Dremel instead of using my grinder, which would have probably been more effective. But unfortunately, the grinder would have walked off the studs, defeating the entire purpose.
Yeah.
But I did have to go around those studs to get it as flat as I could in order to marry the two ends together with the gaskets. Because even when it was all together, I'd get under there and it was all spitting out the sides.
You know, I'm going to tell you about a tool because we love talking about tools.
Oh, yes, we do.
I had gotten from Matco Man Brian. Any Matco Man can sell you this, or Matco lady. It's a tool to recondition. Like when you take the wheel off the car and you look at the studs where the lug nuts go, and that flange where the studs protrude from is rusty. So everybody tries to get in there with a wire wheel or a brush, and you can only get so far. Well, this tool is like a Scotch-Brite kind of attachment. You put it on a drill or an impact, whatever, and it's conical, so you can slip it over the stud.
Oh,
and now it cleans that area right around the stud. It is always the hardest area to get.
I could have used that.
And I have one of those, and it is a great tool. So something like that would really do a good job for you. But so I love it when tool companies look at what guys are doing in shops and they address a problem and then they come out with a tool to remedy that, to make it easier for the mechanic to facilitate a repair. And that's one of them right there. I'll put a picture up this week. Of course, follow us, social media. We're on Motormouth Radio on Facebook and X. It's real_Motormouth Radio on Instagram. Of course, Motormouth Radio and Motormouth Video on YouTube, where this show will go in a couple hours. And I will put pictures on that social media post and the YouTube post too. Well, that's only going to get one. We're also on Spreaker and all sorts of other streaming services. But I'll put the picture up so people can see it, and I'll see if I can get a part number prominent. And
cool,
because it's a great tool. It really,
because I'm going to order it.
and what I started doing a while ago, we started doing this with Mike Jr. in the shop years ago, and I still do it. I don't know if I should. I've seen videos and read articles that said both ways of, to yes or no. And that was once you take the wheel off, especially an aluminum wheel, and you look at the back flange on the aluminum wheel, and they get that white oxidation on it.
Oh, yeah, sure do.
So you clean that off with a brush or this tool, and then we were coating that lightly with like Never Seas, just lightly. Now, when I was just down in the Carolinas, I did a brake job on my daughter's RAV4 and pulled the wheels off, and it still had Never Seas on it from up here. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember doing that. So
did they come off? They came right off, right? You didn't have to kick them off.
They came right off. I had trouble getting them off the Camry. I had two wheels in the Camry, which are steel wheels, where the rears were on there pretty good. They were
really.
And I had to really give them a whomp. But I put some Never Seas on those. And I actually saw somewhere in my travels, and I don't know where it came from, but it was a thin, like a melamite or like a plasticky kind of a gasket that you would put on the stud, on the hub over the stud, that would be an interface between the two surfaces.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah.
Something that's not thick, but strong.
Right. So that was good too. So
Interesting.
yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
That was one of my maladies, but we have more maladies to deal with.
Yes,
and
we
of
do.
course,
We're going to go to the
a caller.
phones and say hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
What's going on, Ray? What's going on, Chris? It's Mike Jr. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, my brother?
All right.
I'm hearing you guys talk about stuck on wheels, and it brings me to a story of me and Ray working on an 8-lug van.
Oh, no. I'll never live it down. Okay, go on.
Yeah, love this
The
story,
8-lug
Mike.
van.
Wait, here's the sword.
We got
on
the
it.
wheel. What's that?
No, I just took my samurai sword out, turned it around, and impaled it right through my chest.
He's going to fall on it. Yeah.
So we're working on an 8-lug van, and we're taking the front wheel. I found out checking the brakes or something. We got it jacked up in front of the shop, and this wheel's not coming off. We're like, wow, this thing is really seized on there. This is crazy. We got, the mini sledgehammer out. Then we got the big sledgehammer out. We got the 4x4 behind it. We're wailing on this thing, and we can't get it out. And me and Ray are both, sweating. We're over this, and we're looking at the ground. And hold on a second, there's only 7 lug nuts. Here's the 8th. And the 8th was so coated in brake dust, you couldn't even see it was still on there. Once we took it off, the wheel came right off like butter.
And I was the guy taking the lug nuts off, so it was my. Yeah,
man.
I think Mike even said to me a couple times, he goes, "You took all the lug nuts off, didn't you?" Of course I did. What do you think I am, an amateur at this? Come on. And he's whacking it and hitting it because I have him doing it. He's bigger than me. I'm like, "Go on, Mike, put some muscle into it." Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's looking. What the heck is going on? Yeah.
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 Sure. I'm sure the wheel was perfect.
That was bad.
So always
that
count.
wheel was perfectly straight when you put it back on again.
Yeah, sure.
That might have been the AutoZM van. I don't know. So
yeah, I think so.
It had an untimely death anyway. It didn't matter.
Yeah, that met its demise into a guardrail, I think.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Mike, I actually pulled the dumb stunt. I was trying to take a brake rotor off, and I accidentally hit with the hammer. I hit the stud, and I literally bent the thread just ever so slightly. And I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me, son of a gun.
Well, they do make reconditioners, thread reconditioners for lug studs. You can get one of those.
Yeah, I called it a Dremel.
Oh, well,
I went. Psst, that was it.
All right.
Not went right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a pain in the butt. You know your job is going at least a half an hour longer.
Oh yeah.
At that point, you're like, oh, you dirty dog.
So Mike, I noticed, but didn't get to talk to you about it, that the El Camino is painted.
Yes.
Looks good.
It is painted, and yes, it's ready. It's almost ready to go, like 95%. You just got a couple little moldings to put on it, this and that, and it's good.
Nice.
Mike, what color was it, and what color is it?
It was, I don't know if it's original, but it was silver with a white bottom, like, the underneath the bottom of the doors and everything, the rocker panel.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember seeing those in
a red
pictures.
line.
Uh-huh.
And I just painted it silver again with dark gray on the bottom this time. No.
Great. Very good. That's
yeah, it looks good. I was going to go with all these other colors, and I just kept circling back to gray or silver and the gray, and I said, you know what, let's just do it this way.
You know what? It's really the right attitude to have. When you start changing colors, it turns into a project instantly. And when you're just shooting the same color, you're not painting under the trunk, you're not painting under the hood. Yeah, we're looking at the pictures now. Ray's showing me the picture on the phone.
I just held up the picture with the white bottom.
Looks good. That looks that's a good looking El Camino for sure.
And really what made it was that red stripe, that pinstripe.
Yeah.
To set the two off. It's amazing what one little piece of color does.
Sure does.
Now I just that's one of the things left to do. I got to get someone to come. I'm going to put some vinyl pinstripe on first just to get the color correct and see what kind of style I want, and then I'll have someone come do it in paint. Okay,
if you have a guy, let me know. Otherwise, I have a guy that did all the work for Gerard at Rolling Thunder. He's a professional striper because I still want my Pontiac pinstriped. And maybe we just have him do both of them at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love pinstripe. You see all the tow trucks. I got all that crazy pinstripe. Like half the hood's covered in pinstripe on one of the trucks.
You need a rat rod.
Yeah.
And that's
I love pinstripe.
and that's the thing, Mike. You know, I've asked your dad, I talked to Ronnie, all the guys. I said, you know what? I got to finish. They say the car looks great. Like I said, I got to finish it off with that double pinstripe. And they all say to me, no, leave it just the way it is, one color. I'm like, dude, it needs that black pinstripe. And I have pictures of cars, you know, from the factory. Mine had it on it and I'm not doing it because it was factory. I think it just needs a little delineation. You know, I'm not going to put music notes by the antenna or like that, but yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna look good. Pinstripe really ties everything together.
All right. So yeah, like I said, if you have a guy, let me know. If not, I do have a guy, and we'll put it together and have him do them one shot.
Will do. Enjoy your show, everyone. Thank you.
All right, Mike. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Mike.
All right,
Speak to you soon.
All right. You can be like Mike. Give us a call, 516-572-7440. Yeah, talking about tools, pinstripes, stuff like that. You know, I mentioned the Camry. I want to tell you about this a month ago. I thought I never got
a month ago.
Yeah. One of the things I had to do, talking about tools, on the Camry was it has actually hood struts, the hydraulic struts.
Right.
And most Japanese cars, you got the prop rod. So, cool, it's got struts. But one of them was bad, and there was a big piece of curtain rod in the back, in the trunk to hold the hood open. And I realized that when it fell.
I never understand that. Why doesn't anybody change those strut rods? They're like $20 a piece. Anybody can do it with a wrench. I mean, it's like, I never understood that, but go right ahead.
All right. So I decided, of course, I'm going to change them. And I went on to, I buy parts from different places, and I looked at one of the Toyota sites that I've been using to get stuff for the RAV4 and for the FJ. They wanted $68 per strut. I said, get the hell out of here. No way. No. And I needed a washer, not a washer. It was the coolant overflow bottle. The top of it fell apart in two places. Okay. That was like $68. I'm like, get out of here. No way. So I went on A1 Auto. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. It's not A1 Auto. It's carparts.com, which is the old J.C. Whitney site, believe it or not.
Come on.
That's
really?
What they became. And I got a pair of struts. Of course, they're not Toyota, but for $26.
Exactly.
I got the bottle for $35. I ended up sending that back because the cap didn't fit right. But the story's about the struts. So I said, okay, I go out to the street. I'm going to do this, change these things easy. Got, a 13 millimeter socket and,
Already got the curtain rod.
The top pops off the little ball end. And there's one bolt that bolts them into the inner fender. Right. So on the driver's side, the left side of the car, it's a clear shot. There's nothing in the way. On the passenger side, the wiper motor is kind of right there.
Oh.
But you can get it to bolt with a ratchet wrench, or you need a shallow socket, but a ratchet wrench will do it. Okay. So I took that out, put the new one in, and as I'm using a ratchet wrench to tighten the bolt, I just felt like it wasn't snugging. It was just, but it wasn't stripped, like it was just turning. It was tightening. So I kept ratcheting the wrench and waiting for it to get snug to give it one last little oomph. And I gave it that oomph and the bolt snapped.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, no.
So now I said, okay. And it was kind of pretty much flush with the fender. So I couldn't grab it, and there's the wiper motor. So I said, you know what? I got to drill this out. But so I take 4 bolts, take the wiper motor off. I take the upper cowling off. I'm trying to get in the back to get the nut off the wiper transmission. And every time I'm turning it, the wipers are moving. And I couldn't get the right angle on it. The Toyota must have some crazy specific wrench. So I had the wiper motor kind of dangling. And I said, all right, let me do what I can. I got my really small Milwaukee drill and a very stubby drill bit. That's what we were talking about a couple shows ago.
Oh, yes.
And I was able to get on that stud at an angle. I couldn't get straight. Now, the other side, you could use the 1/2-inch drill. You would have been right in.
Oh, exactly. But that's not the one that snapped.
That's what happens when you're working on your own car, right? So I got that drill. I drilled kind of a pilot hole on an angle. And I was like, this isn't right. I can't drill this. I can't. It's not working. And I said, let me think and regroup. I said, okay, what are the chances I could get on it with a little punch and maybe walk it and turn it? because I've done that plenty of times.
Was there like some meat left where you could grab it with a vice grip or something?
No, there
was flush.
It did break. Well, it didn't break totally flush. It breaks with there was a little bit of a point sticking out, but nothing you could grab.
Nothing
And you have no room in there with hands to get at it anyway.
Right.
So I got a really small, like a 1/4 inch wide chisel, and I got a regular center punch. I sharpened them both on the grinder, and I came out with that little pin punch, and I found that little piece that was that was sticking out.
Oh, you did not.
Tapped it, and it moved. And I said, "Oh, all right." I said, "But it moved a little, but now I lost my rotational advantage. I couldn't."
Right.
So I tried.
Now what?
I played with it and I'm using a little tiny 4-ounce hammer, like a little jeweler's hammer, right? Well, it started walking loose, and it got to the point where enough came out. I got my fingers in there, and I was able to just thread it right out.
Dude, you lucked out big time.
Oh, did I ever? So then it was a matter of just finding it, going to my metric bolt stash and finding the correct size bolt.
Yeah, exactly.
But I said, of course, on your own car, of course, that's what has to happen.
That has been, and I get it, because the last couple of jobs I've been doing, I've always said, I hate surprises. And that's why the cars I work on, I always have to make sure there's a parts car sitting in the driveway, ready to go.
It wouldn't have helped me.
I don't have your luck or savvy where you can bring a car into the shop, put it on the lift, tear it all apart, and that's the car you showed up with. Yeah, I don't.
Right.
I can't do that.
Well,
there's got to be another running vehicle out there.
Don't feel bad. This was on the street in front of my house. So another. I just want to continue the Camry.
Yeah,
because we're in the Camry Club. We are the Camry Club.
We are officially old.
Right before we did our last show, I didn't get to talk about it because we had a guest. I did another auto inspection. The last one I did was at that Porsche I told you about, which was beautiful.
Right. Which was nice. I saw it on Instagram.
They called me. Oh yeah, so it was on all the social media platforms. Correct. That was an 85 930, a turbo car.
Pretty car.
They called me right after that. The next week, they called me. I got another one for you. It's a Ferrari 488 GTB. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? A 2016 it was. Right in Westbury. Wow. So I said, okay, it's local. I'll do it. And it was a shop up here. There's a couple of, all run by these Asian guys who were in their like 30s, young guys. Right. Let me tell you, millions of dollars of cars in this showroom floor. The Ferrari was $220,000 car. This is,
I'm sure.
So kind of looks like a C8 Corvette if you look just with a little filter on your eye.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so of course, 8-cylinder, flat plane crank, dual turbo. Oh, what a machine! Yeah. So.
You could barely see it from the back when you open the bonnet, I guess you could say.
That's where the engine is. Yeah, that's where the engine is, under the glass.
You could barely see a valve cover.
Accelerates like lightning, stops like it's like a parachute. So fast forward, the car was the car. It was phenomenal. We get back to the facility, and we're sitting by the light, going to pull in. And the other fella he was driving at the time. And I said, wow, you got to put this car back. I said, what do you drive as a daily driver? How do you drive these cars all day and then drive something? He goes, well, I had a BMW M Series, but I crashed it in the rain. I'm like, oh, I didn't use traction control, huh? He said, so now I'm just driving my 3 Series, the regular mundane 3 Series.
Right, my mundane 3 Series, run of the mill.
I said, well, don't feel too bad. I said, I'm driving home in a 95 Camry. He says to me, he turns with this look on his face and says, is that your car? He parked his BMW right next to it. I'm like, yeah. He goes, man, I was looking at that car when I got here. That car is clean. I can't. And I said, wait a minute. I said, don't go shining me on, brother. I said, I know I didn't do the report yet. I said, but
right. Don't blow smoke up my butt.
This isn't how it works, all right? I said, where in the world do you come off after being in supercars all day and even a BMW, jazzed over a Camry? He goes, oh, I used to work on Toyotas all the time. He goes, that car is bulletproof, and that one is super clean. I was looking at it all over. I said, you want to swap keys?
Yeah, exactly. I'll take that Ferrari home.
I'd rather take that. So it just goes to show my mantra of, car guys of all ages and camps love Camrys. I don't know what it is.
It's the truth. And yeah, there were years ago, Ray, you know that those cars were everywhere.
Oh,
Everywhere.
I feel invisible driving it, but
Oh yeah.
and I have Mike Jr. to thank for that car because he pulled it in, and if I didn't see it when I did, it was really just the luck of the draw. I was actually going to stop at the shop to pick up a tool to lend to Pirate Paul, which he didn't need anymore. So, and I didn't know that.
Right.
And I just happened to be there at the right time. So, I guess the takeaway is, when life puts things in front of you, take notice and maybe take action because it may be one of the best things you ever did.
It's the truth. On my Camry, this is Camry time. Hey, it's Camry time. And after this, we're going to go, shoot the back nine at Eisenhower Park. I was able to do the headlight covers on the Camry, the '09 that I have. The headlight covers are horrible. They were awful. They were I guess you could say a vivid brown, a big brown,
cataract brown. Yeah.
Yes. And I've been practicing on different headlights on the cars. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do a full-blown job on this. So I ordered the kit, and I ordered a $20 kit. It was a smaller box than the larger $20 kit I ordered. And I'm like, oh, they're all the same. What's the big deal? So, of course, I get it, and they really cheaped out on this one. There was no buffing wheel. There was a pad. Like they gave you like a piece of styrofoam that you stick the sandpaper on. I'm like, this is not cool.
Well, that's the polish cars with these days, though, and that scares me. But I know you saw that you went through that with Mike when you were doing your Sunbird, right?
Oh yeah, I learned so much about, and that was years ago. And
it was
where the technology has gone. But I was able to do the headlights, and I used the kit plus added my own to it. So the kit gave me like an 800 grit, a 300 grit, and like some sort of lame polisher. I kind of thrown in there 1,000 with the 800 grit. I threw in 1,000 and a 1,500 grit sandpaper, along with I still have the compound, the headlight cover compound. It's like a blue light liquid, and I was able to do all of that together. And it took literally less than an hour to do them both. And they are brilliant, Ray. I'm talking like it looks like a brand new car brilliant.
Did you use a sealer? Because we talked about that too. So
the sealer came with the kit, thankfully.
I'm also going to do the Camry. They're not really bad, but I just want to freshen them up. And I noticed my daughter's Rav could use a freshen up too. So next time I go down, I had bought from Ackerman Bryan, I bought a Milwaukee little buffer. It's a small handheld. I think it's like a 3-inch pad, but it's very small and maneuverable. So you're not using a big 2-handled polisher, and you can get into tight spaces. Now I know. Now again, Mike, who's just on the phone, had done my Mazda 3 when I had it, but he used a succession of polishes that they had at the shop, and one was in a pink thing, one was in a blue container, one was in a clear container. I don't know, but I think there was a 3M polishing compound I think that he might have used at the end that worked well, and I have some of that. I'm going to start with that just to give it a shot and see. The idea is to keep it lubricated, not let it get dry.
It's got to be wet. Yeah,
but I did buy that Milwaukee kit, and I'm going to put that to good use.
No, it's definitely it made such a difference on the car. And to me, this has always been like, I don't know if it's psychological, but I found that on a lot of cars, if you just clean the headlights and the wheels, the car looks like 50% better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%, not 100% better.
That's like a set, a decent set of mag wheels makes a Maverick look like a hot rod.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Wheels and headlights, for some reason, you get those two together, and the car looks fantastic. And that's actually what I did with this Toyota. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't look bad, but it's that geriatric silver. I mean, it's the only way to describe it. It's a silver. It's another silver Camry. Right. So talk about blending into the rest of the cars at the ShopRite parking lot. But what I did was I pulled the hubcaps off, cleaned the hubcaps, shot the wheels, that satin black, the rims, the steel rims, put the hubcaps back on, and now I just did the headlights. You brought the car out of the garage. It looks fantastic.
Actually, we should have had Mike on take. So I was going to say another thing Mike mentioned yesterday while we were I was picking up the car because I was, away, and I left it at the shop, and I had them put some tires on it and do a ceramic coat for me.
Oh yeah.
And Mike noticed, he said, that my car is kind of like that champagne color. It's like not silver. It's got a little bit of I don't know if it's gold or brown in it.
Yeah, it's about a half higher in excitement than the silver.
And it's got the tan interior, which is nice.
Right.
At my age, that's nice and calming, so I like that. But Mike called out. He says, what I always liked about this car, the windows have almost like this light goldish, brownish tint to them.
Really?
They're tinted for the AC.
Right.
And a lot of cars have a blue or a green, and you can see it. I don't know if it's the interior reflecting through or what, but I noticed that too. You look at the glass; it has that almost like a slight bronze tint to it, which is kind of cool. But what I want to tell you, bottom of the hour, we got to take a break today, right now. If you're out looking for something to do, look at my shirt. Can you read what it says?
It says Oldsmobile Club.
The Oldsmobile Club.
Oldsmobile Club.
Our good friend Bob and the boys, they're down at Fort Towns Fireman Training Center in Merrick right now, Merrick Road. The show is going on. I swung past it this morning. It's gangbusters. They're doing a great show. Stop by. They have vendors and food. You're going to love it.
Sounds good.
So with that, let me tell you about the weather. Our WHPC weather forecast is powered by Pantano's Gourmet with locations in Hewlett and Uniondale. And as I look out the WHPC weather window,
yes,
that's not close. I could see they said partly cloudy. It is sunny, high of 83. We're barbecuing tonight. Few clouds, low of 61 tomorrow. Again, going to be high 76. Wednesday, they said like 80% chance of rain, so that's bad. But then it's going to get hot again. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
We're in it.
Not a cloud in the sky here. I could see all the way across the basement.
For the first time, I left beautiful weather in the south, and I came back to beautiful weather at home. It doesn't always work that way.
That's for sure.
I want to tell people about the app contest here at WHPC. If you download and update, it may update itself, your WHPC app, you can enter to win a pair of tickets to see David Lee Roth, the wild man himself. Right.
Wow.
Almost as crazy as Chris.
Is he doing a radio show? What's he doing?
He was the lead vocalist of Van Halen back in the day.
Last I heard.
So Sunday, June 7th, he'll be at the Paramount Theater in Huntington. Great venue to see a show. So download and update your app, your WHPC app now. And thank you for listening to 90.3 WHPC. With that, do we have an honor group of the hour?
We do. Right now, let's see. The magic moment for springtime for car people is literally right now. And the Motormouth Radio honor group of the hour goes to the guys who say, yeah, I'm just going to do a couple of small things to the car this year. And that's how it always begins. Maybe it starts with brakes, maybe a stereo upgrade, maybe just cleaning up a few wires, real innocent stuff. But then one project leads to another. Suddenly the seats are out, the center console's in the basement, there are Ziploc bags filled with screws labeled important. And by Memorial Day, the dashboard is sitting on a blanket in the garage while the owner stares into space, wondering where his weekend went. Meanwhile, the car hasn't moved in 3 weeks. Rock Auto boxes are arriving daily, and phrases like, oh, while I'm here, have become financially dangerous. So if you are a springtime project car dreamer, part of the crew who accidentally turns minor maintenance into a full vehicle teardown, you are the ones, proving once again that no project is ever truly small, and you are part of the Motormouth Radio honor group of the hour this week.
Excellent. So with that, let's go back a little old school. And we'll be back with more Motormouth Radio right here on 90.3 WHPC with Ray and Chris. Dance to the band because you're going to love this, Chris.
I love this show so much. I've always described Motormouth Radio in terms of luxury, value, reliability. People are like, what's a radio show that's luxurious, valuable, and reliable? I'm like, Sunday afternoons on WHPC 90.3 FM. That's the one.
Oh, that's a promo bit. I'm going to isolate that today.
Did I just do a promo?
You did. I love it. This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Lynbrook and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar Lifetime Nationwide Warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
Okay, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my buddies at, what's the name of it again?
Motormouth Radio.
Hey, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my friends at Motormouth Radio. Sunday morning, I don't know what this fat bald guy's laughing about. You'll forget stuff soon enough too, my friend. Be sure to listen. When are you guys on? 10 a.m.?
Sundays at noon.
Noon on Sundays.
Excellent. This was
No, you got the promo. The best one was the first one. That's why I was. Because you said, what was the name of this again? That's the promo.
What better presentation could you do than that?
Hey, you, get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motor Mouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
all right. We're rolling back into the studio. Motormouth Radio back live for the second half of the show. We'll tell you when the third half starts. We'll do something different. So, as you know, this is something that's kind of topical and car related in my world, of course. I just got back from a trip, a southern trip down to the Carolinas. Had a lot of stuff to do.
Yes.
And so, okay, here's the quiz. Here's Quiz the Swizz for today.
Uh-oh.
I document everything. And, people laugh at this, but these cheap little flip notebooks with just lined papers in them.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I was in a store and I found one and I said, I got to have this. I guess I got to buy this because it was like no other.
Ray's short-term memory written on one of those small little notebooks.
So basically,
right.
For a couple of years, I have notes in here of things. It could be a sketch of something I wanted to build or whatever. But I keep all my road trip information here too, gas mileages and road trips. Okay. So I just went down to the Carolinas. So it was a 711-mile trip one way.
Okay.
So figure 1,422 miles roughly round trip.
Sounds good.
What do you think my total mileage was, though? Because the 1,400 was getting there and back. But, of course, I drive when I'm down there, right. Sometimes a lot, sometimes a little. And I recorded it in the book for posterity because, you won't be able to see. Just take a guess. What do you think my...
So, let's see. You had to, first of all, you had to fix the... You had to fix the Toyota, so I'm sure there was a trip back and forth to a couple of auto parts stores. And you also had a venue that you had to run into another state for. So I would say altogether, probably 2,000 miles.
There we go.
2,390 miles. Wow.
I did, yeah. It's getting to be kind of common for me because it's... we're out every day and we're looking at houses and areas and neighborhoods and right. Checking out Actually, I checked out a car shop down there because our good friend Richie Yang Richie's been on the show with us. He's been in the studio with Joe D.
I haven't seen Richie in a while.
Rich lives, you won't because he lives down in Waxhaw now. He's down in North Carolina.
There you go.
So
he migrated down there.
I did. I was in touch with him while I was down there, and he told me about a shop that was, I guess the father was from New York, had a shop, and the son got into automotive. The son and his wife lived in Jersey, but they moved down there in 97. By 99, they had this, 6-bay shop open, and they're top shelf, top of the line. So we got to have the AC looked at on the Volvo.
Okay.
And, my son-in-law was saying, well, I could go to the Valvoline where I get my... No, don't go to the freaking Valvoline place.
No.
It's like, why? I said, he goes, they do a free check. I'm like, exactly. They'll get in there, turn it on, say, it doesn't work.
Right.
We're changing everything. I said, you need a higher level diagnostic is what you need. You need a place that understands, AC. So we're going to hook up with
those free checks at the Valvoline just get you into the shop. That's what they're doing. Once they got you in the shop, all bets are off. But that's what those free checks are for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, their intent is not to tell you, oh, everything is fine, because everything won't be.
No. What is fine is the phones. So let's go back to them and say, hi, caller, you're on the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Chris. How you guys doing? It's definitely a topless day.
Yes,
yes.
2 in a row.
Yes, it is, John. You going to wear something flimsy?
Absolutely, always. You know, I'm in my Crocs and shorts today.
Oh, you're a croc guy, huh?
There's a perfect
Yeah.
picture painted in my mind right now.
I spent 3 months down in the Keys. I mean, I golfed in them.
Wow.
Yeah, they're just, once you get used to them.
What do? You put the cleats on the bottom of the Crocs when you're
Yeah,
golfing?
Right.
You know, I think they actually make them with cleats.
Golf
but-
crocs. Oh my, that's crazy.
Too funny.
Well, now I've heard everything.
Yes.
Chris, I apologize. My computer was calling the wrong.
Oh, that's why the text phone at 203-670-4127 was ringing. I see.
Yes, and my apologies, but that was my computer.
No problem.
All right.
I couldn't answer it. I was on the air.
Yeah.
Right, I was howling with the struts on the Camry.
Oh yeah, I wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure you weren't, but
No,
you
that's
know,
called
over
dodging
the
a
years-
bullet.
Over the years, and you know what the Corvette tax is.
Yeah.
I think the Camry tax is worse.
Do you?
I ordered original AC Delco lift supports for the trunk and the hood and got them delivered for under $89.
For the Corvette.
Yep.
That's great. That's a good price. You know,
For OEM, yeah.
I needed one for my FJ. There's a bottom cylinder that comes out, and what it can do is, because the door opens out, if it closes on you with wind, it'll hurt you. I mean, it's a big door, and it's got the spare tire mounted to it. Right. So that strut is specific where, as you open the door, you push a clip down, like on a screen door, and it'll lock the strut. So it locks that door open. So I did get the Toyota part, and I don't remember what I paid for it. It was probably along that line. It might have been like $60 or $70, but I gladly paid it because I wanted that safety feature intact. So
I don't blame you. After having the hood slam me on the vet,
yeah.
that was no bueno.
Right.
It's funny, John, because I ordered the struts on the '84 Vet, and the ones in the front were those little stubby jobs that kept the hood up. The ones in the back,
That's the one with the whole hood. That hood would have hurt you even more.
Yeah. And I ordered the ones in the back, and I didn't realize until I got them sent to me that you have to remove them off the glass hatch. They're attached to the glass hatch.
That's where the little ball stud is, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking one false move, and this whole hatch is going to go boom.
If they're like the ones that I just did on the hood, on the ball stud, if you look at the strut, and everything is black, but there is a metal clip, and you pull the clip out a little, and it lets it come right off the ball. The clip is what locks it onto the ball, because it has two little feet under the bottom of it. So once you relieve that clip, if they fall right off.
Yeah, because it wasn't falling off.
The ones on the Bettler.
Right. Yeah, I think that's pretty standard, John. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I was done. I took my time. May have had an adult beverage. 10 minutes.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Excellent.
And at first the hood doesn't slam down anymore with the slightest gust of wind.
Right.
And the trunk now actually pops open. I didn't realize they work both ways. Like when I hit the trunk release, that's what I guess whatever pressure's in them is what pops the trunk open enough that you can.
Yeah.
Get your fingers under it.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
But,
They're amazing little gizmos, and they can be used for a lot of different things. And like I said, even screen doors at home, we've been using them for 100 years. It's the same technology. This is just a little more charged, but yeah. No, good stuff. Very good, John.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, you didn't trade the Camry for the Ferrari?
No, I didn't get that opportunity. Ray did.
Look, I said to the guy when he was so gaga, I said, look, we could swap keys. But he wasn't.
I would have. I'll come back with another one for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I said, it was only 1,000 times more expensive. That Ferrari was listed at $222,000 and something, And it sold new in 16 for 224. So it was right up there at like list price. And the car had about maybe, I think it had about 40,000 miles on it. But it had been serviced at Ferrari. So the thing was right up. And I said, they even sent it to Ferrari because the prospective buyer wanted them to look at it. I said, well, if Ferrari looked at this and inspected it, what the hell did they call me for? I mean, I'm not complaining. I got paid. But listen, that's the mothership. They know those cars a hell of a lot better than I do.
Right.
And the value of the Camry probably pales in comparison to the tune-up for that vehicle at Ferrari.
Oh, well, even the Camry brand new pales in comparison to a tune-up for that Ferrari. You're right.
I got a buddy of mine has a twin-turbo Porsche and keeps going back to the dealer, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, that's the price you got to pay to play. You know,
it's true.
And the other thing I wanted to point out to you guys, when you're getting into detailing cars, wheels, all that stuff is good. Headlights. The one thing, and I watch a lot of detailing videos because I do it as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever cleans the door jambs.
I do. So does Chris. It's not every single wash, but like especially the first wash of the year, I get into jams. I get that big B pillar under the doors. I do everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but
John,
when you get a used car, most people don't do that.
Right.
And the one thing that I saw on many of the detailing videos is it's subliminal. You open it up.
Yes.
It just looks clean.
You don't
go, oh my God, the door jambs are spotless.
I did that. I had the Cruise, and I use a Lucas detailer for the dash and all. It's a great, stuff to use to help keep the sun, to keep the sun damage down and all. And it really makes that interior pop. So I did the whole dash, the door panels, and I cleaned the door jambs. And my wife gets in the car. And then we're driving around. She goes, oh, you washed the car. Thanks. I said, yeah, I did a little more than wash it. She goes, yeah, it looks different. I'm like, how does it look different? She's like, I don't know, but something looks different. And I said, well, take a good look. And then she figured it out that all the door jambs were clean. The rocker area was clean. And she goes, and the interior looks different. I'm like, yep, I conditioned the dash and the door panels with this stuff because the black gets a little bit white in spots. It gets a little dull.
It gets chalky.
And that Lucas detailer, it's just literally spray and wipe. It couldn't be easier. So, good stuff.
It's all, I try not to put a lot of product on the interior. Because it always seems to end up on the inside of the windshield.
Yes, correct.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Or on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the truth, John.
Yeah.
No, the funny thing is I would clean the inside of the door jambs and then go and put the car up for sale. And there were a couple of individuals that said this car was in an accident. And I'm like, why was it in an accident? They said, because the door jambs are clean. I'm like, no, maybe it's because I cleaned them.
Right. That's the thing. Even when I sold the Mazda.
Unless it was in an accident with a vice.
Even when I sold the Mazda, the car was not pretty. It had some rust between the quarter, the upper quarter, and that lower bumper cover area. There was common rust. And I didn't meticulously detail it, but the door jambs were clean. I vacuumed it. I had the mats in there, the gray mats. It looked a lot cleaner than cars I see in this parking lot out here behind me. And, when you look at it, you say, okay, I could get in there and drive this car. You weren't like, get me I want a seat condom. You weren't saying that, which I did say when I got my FJ, the driver's seat. The guy was a slob, and he ate in the car. And I had pictures. I took the console apart. I mean, caramelized food on the floor in the console. I stripped that thing down to nothing and used a steam cleaner to loosen it. Wow. But the seat was so disgusting on one side. I had Mike get me a new seat. I said, get me a seat. I said, I need a rear seat because part of it was missing. I said, see if you can get me a driver's seat. And I ponied up. I said, yeah, I'll just pay. I just want it. I got to have it.
Wow.
And I did.
Yeah. It's crazy. But, I've cleaned up some ugly cars. I bought one for $300 and sold it for $2,500, just cleaning it.
Right. Sure. A lot of times that's all you have to do, John. Yeah.
It's the truth. Just cleaning it Make a lady out of it.
Another one that's easy, clean the windows. Just clean the windows inside and out. It makes a big difference. Just the basic things are very, very important.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's really true.
There's an art to doing that.
Yeah.
All of the VOCs that, get baked in the sun and find their way to the windshield.
Right.
They're a pain in the butt to get off.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What you do, you look and go, is there glass there?
Yeah, I know.
And those VOCs, what we're talking about, that emanate from the plastic dash. It's funny what we're breathing in when it comes down to a vehicle. All of that plastic.
If I'm correct, that's volatile organic compounds.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not just from the plastics. It's also from the products that you put on.
Okay.
That's why I was saying I'm a minimalist on putting,
right.
Product. What was that stuff?
Armor All. Oh, listen.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah, put that on a vinyl seat. It was real easy to get your date to come over when you made a right-hand turn.
or eject. I had a car in a shop at one point, and they had to do engine repair. I got it back, and everything, all the hoses, everything was armor rolled. I mean, it looked like a show car, but it had to go back for more work. I said, listen, skip the armor roll. What do you mean? Listen, I get it. I know it. Please, just don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That was fine. So,
and not that you and I have a lot of hair left, but every time I go and get my head buzzed, they want to spray some sort of perfume on me. I'm like, dude, no.
Oh, I take that. I like that because because when the guy shaves my neck now, that gives it, that kind of neutralizes it. I actually go for that. Yeah, I do. To each his own. Everybody likes a different
whatever
thing.
floats your boat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for sure.
All right, John, go out, have a good day, and enjoy the sun.
Hey, Ray, before we conclude, Stu, Tony, and Ed said to say hello. I had lunch with them yesterday.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good deal.
Hopefully you'll catch up on the next. We're going to expand the group.
Right. Yeah. Keep me in the loop, and we'll talk about it.
No, well, hopefully we'll do it before you go south.
Yeah, I hope so. We will. All right, John.
Have a great day. Keep the top down, and
you got
anybody listening, don't follow Ray home.
Thanks, John.
All right,
thanks, John.
So long.
Always a pleasure.
First, it was the Thursday night crowd doing it. Now we got our regulars here doing it. That's great. That's cool. I like that. So like you said, don't follow me home. We're going to be chugging along as usual. Next week we don't have a guest lined. Actually, we do have a guest in the wings. Brendan, I don't remember his last name, but he is the lead designer for Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah,
we were talking about this
pretty
yesterday.
Intense.
He is a cool guy, and he designs those neat cars. So we're going to call in the A-Team specialist. We're going to call in Matco Man Brian if he's available. And if he's not available, I'll talk to his family and see if we can make him available.
Right.
Because Brian is a collector and a historian, and he knows, believe me, he knows the stuff we don't know about Hot Wheels cars. So hopefully Brendan and I will be able to arrange something shortly. It could be as soon as next week. We don't know, but we'll get him in, and because we all have used them, collect them, play with them.
It's funny because I pretty much have a well-rounded knowledge of the original 1968 versions.
That's called the Sweet 16 or the
yeah.
16.
So those I have a working knowledge of, but once you get past that, I fall flat.
Oh yeah, well, there's so many years, and I have a pretty good collection of them myself because I was buying them, and I just buy by like what I like. I don't buy like Brian collects, and he knows the chase cars, and he knows the super, the ones that are worth more money, and this one's got a white wheel, or this one has this stripe, and I don't know. I had him actually I tried having him teach me that, and it's Isaac is pretty good too out in Arizona, and Keith in Florida too. He actually knows about that stuff, but Brian is really he's the headmaster as far as that goes.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that if they fall in my lap, that's fine. I will look for what I like. That's pretty much what I do. We had gone last week during the Mother's Day show. We were in the middle of the state at a flea market. That's what we did for Mother's Day, and I was gravitate. Even my daughter's like, "Look at Dad, he's gravitating towards the Hot Wheels again." And I was heading over there and just taking a look at them. And the funny thing is, like, I pick up what I like. That's all. And if I see it, I'll scoop it up. But 9 out of 10, and mind you, when I take it and buy one, and every once in a while I throw it in the box with the rest of them. It's like, here you go, meet your friends.
I do too. I have them on the shelf. Now, Brian has sent me some FJ Hot Wheels, and one of them, there's one it's on like a tractor, like an old COE truck. It's on a flatbed truck.
Right.
He sent me a couple of cool FJ ones that I think are really neat. I really like those. So those are kind of collectible. But the other ones, I have them on shelves. I don't take them out of the package. I'm not playing with them.
Right.
So whatever. But yeah. So hopefully we'll get Brendan on. Like I said, scheduling is always.
Well, knowing you, yes, it could be. It could be right away, or it could be weeks away. So you never know.
Listen, if it was me, I would have had him on today. But it's always the guest. We always have to defer to the guest what he's doing. So hopefully that'll come together sooner than later. And of course, we'll talk about all of our maladies and car work. I have some things going up now. I got a 65 Impala that we know that I have to go take a look at this week. I also have the Bayside and put an accelerated pump in a Trans Am carburetor, and I got stuff I got to do. So
that's true. And I have oxygen sensors, not oxygen sensors. What do you call them? Sensors, valve sensors for the tires.
TP, tire pressure monitor.
Tire pressure sensors, oxygen sensors, tire pressure sensors. I have to put them in. I got to get a set of tires for the Chrysler. So
it is sensing oxygen,
right, I guess.
It's sensing oxygen, right?
Can't read it though, but it does. No. But yeah, I got to get the truck all situated and ready to go. Right. We're probably going to put that up on the block very soon. There's a lot of projects that are on this end as well. And I am what would you say, a bastion of one. So
as is the case, we're never short on things to talk about. So.
No, never. Absolutely not. There's always something to talk about. We're always happy to take your calls too and hear your maladies as well. It's always
what do I tell the people waiting out in the parking lot?
Don't follow us home, and make sure you have nuts not like mine.
You got it. So for Chris Switzer, Ray Guarino, Motormouth Radio, over and out. We'll see you next week with more on 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you both for listening. See you. Bye.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity